How do you define infertility? What is the definition of infertility? How the idea of mind and mom came about? How did it happen?
Is the interview, and then where he said, if you like to go to Delhi, from home you cannot see Delhi. From here you might be able to see the main road. From main road you could probably see the airport. From airport you could probably see the flight, and flight you go to Delhi. Then that made me think, hey wait, maybe even today I do not know him, but I know that story sort of changed the way I look at life and entrepreneurship.
Was to focus on healthy pregnancies, and infertility was not in your mind at all when you started.
No.
Now I would like to go to the next question. You're owning a chain of clinics.
Yep.
How did it evolve? From looking at healthy pregnancies to now looking at treating infertility.
I felt I don't live in that idea. I wanted to really solve the problem. I'm sure 95 or 99% is run by doctors, gynecologists, or embryologists. How can I bring up patient perspective there? How can I be the voice of a patient there in that industry?
Hi Padmini, welcome to the Weekend Leader Inspiration Show. It's
Hello.
a pleasure having you with us today.
Thank you Vinoj. Happy to be here.
Yeah. So you've been in the field of infertility treatment now, I think, for maybe about 3 to 4 years.
3 years, yes.
Yeah, 3 years. Now, I would like to begin by asking you, how do you define infertility? What is the definition of infertility?
I think Google might throw a lot of definitions, but according to science and according to doctors, it is 1 year of you trying to have a child, but you're not successful, is called infertility, where you might have to go see the doctor, provided that you want to have a kid like right immediately.
1 year of trying to have a child. Meaning?
Meaning as in like, okay, right now I would like to have a child. Like, let's have an unprotected, way of having a child. Then they tried for a year and then it's not happening. They are called infertile couple.
Okay. How the idea of mind and mom came about? How did it happen?
So my idea of Mind and Mom happened while I was in the US working for another company, where I met a lot of teenage pregnant girls. It's not very common here for you to see teen pregnants in India. But in the US, there is a place called St. Louis where I was doing user research. And I saw a lot of teen pregnant girls where these girls were so normalizing and then having a discussion with me that I'm 15 years old, I'm 14 years old, and then I'm having a child. They were like, I was able to see baby bumps with those children. Like, as a South Indian mother of a girl, I was so shocked. I was like quite angry. I mean, why would somebody do this? But keeping that cultural thing aside, one thing that sort of triggered me is how unaware women are or girls are about their own health. And that was the starting point. And then I was I came back to India and I started my book called Myths and Millennials, where I happened to speak to a lot of women. And I understood how their life in their 20s and 30s is around pregnancy, around infertility, about having a child and the choices and so many things around that sort of put me in a place to do something in that space. At that point in time, quite honestly, I did not have such a strong vision. I didn't know how I'm going to do it. Nothing of that sort. Things just happened. But I heard this story of, I think C.K. Kumaravel from Naturals did tell this story. But when I was just contemplating between what am I going to do, I was watching one of his video. Not that I'm a big follower of him at that point in time. Nothing of that sort. I didn't even know he owns, this thing. Nothing at all. I was just watching his interview, and then where he said, if you like to go to Delhi, from home you cannot see Delhi. From here, you might be able to see the main road. From main road, you could probably see the airport. From airport, you could probably see the flight. And flight, you go to Delhi. Then that made me think, hey, wait, maybe even today I do not know him. But I know that story sort of changed the way I look at life and entrepreneurship. I felt, okay, I do not know what I'm going to do down the lane. I'm leaving a job which is paying me more than, 75 lakhs, 85 lakhs per annum. But still, let me go give a shot on myself. and see if it's working. But after coming in, there's no looking back at all.
Yeah, of course. So now, from what I've understood, is that your idea of starting Mind and Mom was to focus on healthy pregnancies, and infertility was not in your mind at all when you started.
No.
I would like to go to the next question. You're owning a chain of clinics.
Yep.
How did it evolve? From
I
looking at healthy pregnancies to now looking at treating infertility.
I really think it's a journey where, I started with a group of women, just talking to them as a community, understanding what they really require or want or need, and just having a conversation with them about their career. So then I realized, okay, my ikigai is to do something in the women's space. Not necessarily health, not necessarily finance. I didn't know that at that point in time. So I thought maybe let me just work on women and try to help women, empower women, whatever we call it as, right? Then I realized in the journey of talking to women after a few months that empowering women starts from health. A lot of us as women are not too aware about our body and what to expect. We do not care too much about the hormone. We care least about irregular periods. So many things altogether. So I felt maybe starting something on women health can truly empower, and I felt I'm so connected. I felt okay, this is something I wanted to do no matter what. Because in an entrepreneurship, there are days that you wake up so dull. There are days that you wake up that you don't want to do this anymore. There are days that you wake up with a lot of self doubts. But if your vision is so strong, you'll still wake up and then do it. So that's so important in entrepreneurship. So I felt that sort of lived in women health.
So, can you trace your journey from actually starting the business with an app, and what was the app doing, and how did it grow into a business where you actually run clinics treat with treatment of infertility?
We started with app, and a lot of people downloaded the app, and they used. A lot of people also paid. There was a B2C SaaS that was happening, and we were making good revenue. Things were going fine. But what I realized in the journey of talking to a lot of women who are my app users, like everybody downloads the app, I make sure I talk to them. Initially, it was easy, of course. After it went to thousands and lakhs, I stopped doing it. But initially, while talking to them, I realized that it is a good to have thing. Doing exercises, having a mental health affirmations, having a nutritional, suggestions. I felt it's a good to have. But a good to have product can never scale. I'm sure a lot of people have scaled it, but I felt I don't live in that idea. I wanted to really solve the problem. I've always been that problem solver. One day, if the app is down, if people are going to complain, maybe they will miss it, but it's not really solving a problem. Like, even if it comes back after 4 days, they're still fine. They're going to find another app. But how can I do it so well? What are the problems in the ecosystem that I can solve in a different point of view? Because if you look at infertility market, it's run by doctors. I'm sure 95 or 99% is run by doctors, gynecologists or embryologists. How can I bring up patient perspective there? How can I be the voice of a patient there in that industry? What made me go into clinics, though it's operation heavy, it has its own challenges. Still, I thought this is the way of integrating tech plus brick and mortar. Having a hybrid model can really solve the problem where you see the women and listen to them.